right, folks, this is the Halfling for the Halfling and Spaceman. We're introducing a new segment of our show titled Catching Up With. And today we are happy to be catching up with MD Boncher. And MD had been on our podcast back in May of 2023. And we are very happy to have him back. MD, welcome. Just catch us up. Tell us what you've been up to.
Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for having me back. First off, I mean, you guys were a lot of fun in May, and so I was really happy to reach out and say, "Hey, I've got a new book. You guys want to chat?" And so I'm really glad that you came up with this new segment. Um, as you know, back then I quick released 3 books this last year for science fiction, what I'm now calling pulp punk. It takes the old pulp style serials and mashes it up with modern punk style sentimentalities, your cyberpunk, your nanopunk, biopunk, and it mashes together in all sorts of a good meat, tasty meatball and serves it up hot. I like to say it's a very snarky update on the old serials. I mean, if it worked for George Lucas, it can work for me too. It's a very much a different take on things, but as I said, I released early this year. I released the first book, Dreams Within Dreams. So you can see the inverted at right here. So that was released earlier in the spring, and then over the summer we released the second book in the series, Lucid Reality. Here, that's my femme fatale on the cover there. She demanded attention. And then releasing on December 8th is going to be, what's the name of the book is The Waking Nightmares, but here's the cover art that we have for it. We found an awesome artist, and we actually contracted with him to redo all my previous covers as well to kind of have a nice unified look. And those 3 books together are going to create what I'm calling my origin trilogy for the Tales from the Dream Nebula series, which is broken down on top of it all into 3 series of novellas that I hope to release over the next few years. But yeah, I had this urge to get back to, high flying adventure, good storytelling, good pulpy goodness. I mean, we've lost a lot of that in modern storytelling because too many people are trying to either push messages or tick boxes in an agenda, and people are just forgetting that we just want to read for fun and entertainment. So I kind of went back there and said, well, what are things that I like? I mean, yes, it definitely was inspired by the pulps, but that's where a lot of this fanciful, what do you want to call it? This fanciful escapism really had a home. So update it and see what came out of it. And I think I got myself a really good mashup of things that will grab modern readers' attention and go, okay, there's something I can really get behind here.
Wow, sounds great. Sounds great. So have you been to any conventions with this yet?
Yeah, actually, we just this last week we came back from Vikings Con because, as we talked last time about my Akiniwazisaga series, being that it's rather Vikings heavy, it was perfect for that kind of a venue. We've done, I think we've done about 10 this year, different conventions, shows, and things like that. Pikeville Toy and Comic-Con, Big Lick Comic-Con. I'm being signaled by my wife that we did 9 this year so far. And we have 1 left to go next week. I'm sorry. Yeah, we share the office. We both work from home and we haven't killed each other. My friends and family are just astonished that we can be in such close proximity all the time. But yeah, we were at 9 shows this year, including the one we met at. And we also did Renaissance fairs.
Not including.
Oh, not including. Okay, see, I'm being corrected. Yes, dear. So she keeps me on the straight and narrow and handles, everything that I want to hide from under the bed from. She's wonderful that way. So, but yeah, so we've done a lot of them. It's had a very good response. And it's been a great little counterpoint. Do you want the dark fantasy or do you want something high flying, snarky fun? Happiness is a smirk and a warm phaser. So
Yeah, yeah. Not complete opposites, but definitely on opposite ends of the reading spectrum and genre spectrum there. Well,
Mhm.
that's great. So, what conventions have you got coming up?
Well, currently slated. We do, just so if anybody is interested, on our website at residentmedia.art. We do have a schedule of appearances scheduled. We do plan to go to the February Big Lick Comic Con. That's around Valentine's Day. Let's see, we're going to a local craft show here at the end or at the beginning of December. We kind of like to do that. Her parents go there and sell wooden toys, so we've decided, and that was one of the places we kind of started cutting our teeth. It's going to be fun to go back to that. Um, and let's see, next year we are going to, of course, be going back to Fantasy, but we'll see if we do anything more than just attend and have fun. Liberty Con back in the end of June. And then, of course, the the little surprise that we came across is Rise Up Con, which is a new faith-based pop culture con started by Kevin Sorbo, and they're down towards the Gatlinburg area, Seaverville, Tennessee.
Yeah, well, it sounds
And
like
so we are.
it sounds like people are going to get lots of opportunity to meet up with you guys if they're interested. But
I hope so.
um, it
Mhm.
looks like we are about to run out of time. Uh, so just tell us like a couple more conventions that you may be going to attend.
Well, those are the ones that are for the most part locked in right now. We have a few more
Okay.
feelers going out. Renfest. We're hoping we can do multiple weeks at the West Virginia Ren Festival. That is not confirmed. But it is something that we're hopeful for, because last year we had just a blast doing one weekend, and we're going to aim for more.
Hmm.
But yeah, our early summer and late spring is really going to be full up. Publishing schedule wise, we are hoping to release a Tales from the Dream Nebula omnibus late spring, early summer, and then by December 24, I am hoping to release the final uh, final book in the trilogy story arc of Akiniwazisaga. That's currently, the working title is The Prodigal's Return, um, and that is prodigals as a plural. So
Yeah.
that's sort of the production docket, and of course, lots of short stories that are going to be added into some short stories going to be added into the
Yeah.
omnibus as well. So
Well, I have to say that the covers that you showed look really nice. The art looks beautiful. That the last
mhm.
cover in particular puts me in mind of an artist who's done some cover work for another guest of ours that we had on the show, HP Holo. Some of that
Mhm.
artwork on that last one you showed us seemed to kind of evoke that same sort of aesthetic, I guess you will. Very similar. I can see. Uh, it's very cool. Very cool. Looking forward to that, and of course, we wish y'all much success. It was great
Thank
to
you.
meet you guys. It was great to have you on the show, and hopefully, like you said, you're going to be going to Fantasy, and hopefully, we'll get to see you
Yeah,
again there. We're looking
we'll
forward
definitely
to
love
it.
to meet up with you there.
And Spaceman threatened to run a GURPS game at Fantasy, so we'll see if he holds to it. I'll try to make
Okay,
him I'll try to
I'm
make him stick to his guns there.
I'm down to clap. I'm down to clown.
Uh,
But
uh,
um, yeah, other than that, that just trying to think if there's anything else out there to really kind of bring up. Oh, for those that subscribe to our newsletter, that's where we do release some of our freebies. I do have a short story that I hope to have done for December's newsletter, which is a short story set in my fantasy setting. Current working title of, it's either going to be The Wooing of or The Courtship of Dame Bergfred. And for those who have read my book, they'll recognize Dame Bergfrit and how she ends up marrying her husband, Ask. So it's going to be a fun little thing for fans of that series, a little something that they've been long suffering. So a little treat for them.
Well, that sounds great. Well, it looks like we are at about that time to wrap it
Sure.
up. So, do you have any last minute closing thoughts for us?
Other than to say that there is such energy going on right now in the independent community of authors that these people need and deserve a look. I know a lot of people have been burned so much by authors not completing what they've fulfilled, or people complain that they can't find really anything new to read. They're out there, but you're going to have to start looking outside of the box, so to speak. A lot of indies, they can't get the promotion a lot of people expect. That's why the shows like this are so important to an indie like me. They let people know. And so when you find somebody like that, please pass the word on, leave reviews, tell your friends. If you do your own blogs and reviews and video content, invite the author on. We love to be able to go and talk with people about our work and whatnot. So I always just try to support the cheerleaders as well, saying, please, we're here for you. You want stuff to talk about that isn't bad mouthing what's out there that's going wrong. Find some indie, support them, and bring them up and start developing the next stage of pop culture. That's where it comes from. So
Yeah.
please join
Wow.
into the conversation and help spread the word.
That's awesome. I like that as a tagline, join in the conversation. I like that. I mean, we may have to try to figure out a way
Heck,
to
yours in
incorporate
good health.
we may have to try to figure out a way to incorporate that. But that's one of the things that we just love doing about our podcast is getting to talk to
Mhm.
so many wonderful creators out there, and just giving them a chance to be heard and to have their works put out there for
Mhm.
people to hear about. So it's a wonderful experience for us. Gives us an opportunity to go to conventions and meet people. Yeah, actually, just quick story. This past weekend, we were at a gaming convention, and
Oh,
we had interviewed a game designer like 2 weeks ago, and he happened to be at this convention. He has a game he has a game that's on Kickstarter, and he was at the convention. He was demoing the game. So we got to actually meet him, and we actually got to play his game.
oh,
And let me tell you, that was
oh,
just awesome.
fantastic.
That's just awesome. So, to us, that's
Oh,
kind of where
wonderful.
the highlight is, you know? So, again, it's, getting people to meet, getting to talk to meet with people. So, yeah, one last quick thing.
I just had one. I just had one last thing because you
Yeah.
reminded me of it. We are going to be trying. We're going to be going to release. We're planning to release audiobooks sometime this year. We're going to be trying to organize a Kickstarter on funding those. So,
Oh, okay.
we've had lots of people been asking, do you have the audiobooks? And we're like, no, we
Good.
don't. We've got to
Yeah.
fix that. So this
Yeah.
year is the year of pushing to get audiobooks done. So anybody out there looking for something like looking for this or interested in this, please keep us in mind for Kickstarter for Tales from the Dream Nebula, because we hope to get that out there. So the more eyes and ears and backers we can get our fingers on, the better,
Yeah.
because we want to give you guys what you want.
That's great. That's great because we love our audiobooks for sure. Um, well,
We're
we
gonna fix
really
that.
well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us for this
Thank
catching up time.
excuse
It's great to hear the things that you have been interested in and doing. And I'm just going to close with saying this is the Halfling for the Halfling and the Spaceman. We'll see you next week.
Vai com Deus.